Madam Deputy Speaker. I'm extremely honoured to be giving my maiden speech in the debate named after the late great Sir David Amess. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'd like to thank all of the people who have given their maiden speeches today. I've enjoyed a lot of them. It's been wonderful to learn about all of the many famous former residents of Lichfield, and I wish the honourable gentleman the best of luck in adding his name to that pantheon. Special mention also to the Honourable Member Southampton Test for providing the answer to the pub quiz question, what links Craig David and fish finger sandwiches? So we all know better now. Madam Deputy Speaker, I am the first non-Conservative MP for West Dorset in its 139-year history, something I am extremely proud of. That notwithstanding, I would like to start by paying tribute to my Conservative predecessor. Chris Loder's family has farmed West Dorset for over 100 years, and he should be deservedly proud to have served as its MP. We are both successors to Sir Oliver Letwin, an MP who was so well respected by the residents of West Dorset that they would stop me at every opportunity to tell me what a fantastic constituency MP he was, and I can only hope to leave this House as fondly remembered as he is in the area. While each of us has been proud to be the member for West Dorset, we are not West Dorset's proudest member. That honour goes to the Cerne Abbas Giant, a 55-metre high chalk fertility symbol, whose presence stands proud over the Cerne Valley for all to see. West Dorset is the best constituency in the country, Madam Deputy Speaker. I know this for a fact, because the towns of Bridport, Dorchester, Lyme Regis and Sherborne have, over the last few years, at various times been described as the best towns in Britain by no lesser authority than the Dorset Echo, a newspaper that shares my unrivalled objectivity when it comes to the virtues of West Dorset. West Dorset is home to the world-famous Jurassic Coast, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where Mary Anning helped revolutionise our understanding of prehistoric life and who was long overlooked by historians, but whose contribution is now recognised with a beautiful statue in her hometown of Lyme Regis. At the other end of the Chesil Beach is the Fleet Lagoon, the UK's largest saltwater lagoon, on which sits the Abbotsbury Swanery, home to over 600 swans and a fantastic day out, especially if you love swans. As well as the swans, you can also see, rather incongruously, a prototype of Barnes Wallis's bouncing bomb. Quite what the swans of Abbotsbury thought about their home being used as a replica for the Ruhr Dams is still unknown. Sadly, our beaches and rivers also saw over 45,000 hours of sewage released into them last year. The River Lym, which exits at Lyme Regis, was declared ecologically dead due to the levels of pollution in it. It is shameful that before I and my family go swimming at our nearby beach of West Bay, we must log on to the Surfers Against Sewage app to check if it is safe to swim. I committed during the campaign to use my seat in this House to pressure the government to take serious action on the issue of sewage, and I promise to do so. West Dorset is Hardy country. Thomas Hardy is renowned the world over for his poetry and novels such as Far From the Madding Crowd and Tess of the D'Urbervilles. His works famously deal with themes of melancholy, of sadness, of moral conflict, emotions I'm sure familiar to those members voting in the Tory leadership contest. In his lifetime, he was also highly critical of the declining status afforded to rural Britain. For even more than its beautiful towns and coastline, West Dorset is a constituency defined by its countryside, a landscape that is managed and maintained by our farmers and food producers, and who are the beating heart of our rural economy. We desperately need, as a nation, a food and farming strategy that will deliver sustainable living for our farmers. Yeah. Far from being cut, the farming budget needs to be significantly increased if conversations about food security are ever to be anything other than fine words. As an environmentalist, I am delighted to see that we now have a government who seem to understand the importance of tackling the climate crisis and the vital part that renewable energy will play in achieving net zero. Having spent a large part of my career in renewable energy, I will be urging the government to go further and faster if we are to avoid the worst ravages of a climate emergency which is already unfolding. Yeah. the Liberal Democrats will continue to champion the need for action in this House. On the subject of my party, I would like to pay tribute to our party leader. I and many of my colleagues here owe our places in no small part to the fantastic, if unorthodox, campaign that our leader ran. I must also pay reference to another leader of the Liberal Democrats. My political journey began in 2015 with Nick Clegg's resignation speech. He said, and I summarise here, that in the face of the politics of identity, of nationalism, and of us versus them, it has never been more important to keep the flame of liberalism alive. It is true then, and it is true now. I knew then that it was not enough to stand on the sidelines and watch the country that I love so much be eaten by the self-interest of those who seek power only for power's sake or for self-enrichment. Sadly, over the summer, we saw that there were those who would seek to use the misery of people who have come here seeking refuge to further their own aims. I mention this because it will come as no surprise that the Morellos are not originally from this island. The Morellos of Italy became the Morellos of Spain, with apologies to both countries for my pronunciation, before coming to Britain at the beginning of the 20th century. One of my forebears died fighting in World War I for the country that adopted him and is buried in a Commonwealth war grave cemetery in northern France. My own father served in the Royal Navy. But even more than Morellos, my family are Mazurskis. My maternal grandfather came here from Poland at the end of the Second World War, fleeing another type of political tyranny. He arrived as a child, speaking no English. He became an engineer and set up a building company. His children became nurses, teachers, artists and architects. His grandchildren are doctors, civil servants, lecturers, environmentalists, and one of them stands here before you today as a Member of Parliament. In my experience, immigrants do not forget the debt they owe the country that offered them a future. We must not let hate win. We must champion hope. And it is why it is more important than ever to fly the flag for liberalism, liberal values, and a rules-based international order. I would also like to mention my amazing wife. She is far, far cleverer than me and would make a far better politician, and without whom I certainly would not be here today. Not just because of the love and support she has shown me, but also because it was her suggestion in the first place that I run, something I find myself reminding her of with increasing frequency. Finally, I would like to thank the voters of West Dorset for putting their faith in me. It is a huge honour to represent them, and I look forward to doing everything I can to deliver a better deal for West Dorset. Thank you, ma'am.